I've got him.
When Christine brings a man home from a costume party, her life begins to unravel and her happiness slowly turns to sorrow. This is all I knew of this episode of a show that I had never even heard of until starting this series. But I don't think anything could have really prepared me for this story or its twist. And I can't think of a way to prepare you other than to just walk with you and show you inside number 9's The 12 Days of Christine. Though I guess there is one way you could prepare. With some new merch. Look at it! And not only is there new merch, but there's also a new merch store. Because while this is great and special to me since it was the first piece of merch that I ever had made, this was one solid print design that is already falling apart and it was much more expensive. So be assured that I have spent so much time to redesign the old designs to make the best designs that not only you can be excited to wear, but you can also support the channel and save some money. Because not only are the prices already cheaper than what they were, but there is a sale going on to make them as cheap as possible. And if you did make it this far into the merch plug, seriously, thank you for not just skipping over this, because I did work very hard to make all of these new designs and try to work it out to where the prices are much better for you. And if you're able to support the channel in this way, thank you so much for that. And if you're not, that's completely fine. I just hope that you think these designs are as cool as what I do. If you want to go check out the store for yourself, everything is linked right down below me. And thank you so much if you do. And with that, we can get back to the episode. Inside apartment number 9 is where our first day with Christine picks up, just a few days after Christmas on New Year's Day after a costume party, where Christine is carried inside by this guy that she met at the party, and after setting her down on the couch and placing his firefighter's hat on her head, he then heads to the kitchen to get them something to drink. And Christine warns him not to mess with anything that has Fong written on it because that is her flatmates, and after a short conversation about Fong, New Year's, and the party, we finally get his name.
My name's Adam, by the way. If you're interested.
Adam then asks for the toilet, and it's as he leaves that the phone begins to ring. Christine answers it on the second day, and it's Adam calling to see if she's received his Valentine's Day card yet. And also to discuss their plans for later that day, but first she needs to check with Fong to make sure that their plans don't overlap. Before being interrupted by the mail, we learn that Fong has a couple of mathematics seminars that day, but we also learn that Christine and Adam have now been together for 13 months. As interesting as it may be that we just skipped over an entire year, what's far more interesting and far more weird is the Valentine's Day card that Christine just received. It's from her ex-boyfriend.
I haven't seen him since I was 12, I barely remember him.
The front of the card reads, "I love you forever," with a big heart, and thankfully Fong reads the inside so we can hear this lovely poem. Roses are red, violets are blue. What is that smell? I need a poo. Christine remarks that his sense of humor hasn't changed much and then wonders aloud at how he would have gotten her address. But Fong realizes that she needs to leave for her first seminar, and it's just before she walks out that she tells Christine that she won't be back until after 7:30 if her and Adam need the apartment. It's as she walks out that this odd sound begins to fade in, accompanied by some beat, but before we can decide whether this is just house music or not, Christine rips the card in half. As it then switches from Christine holding the torn card to her mother holding old photos of Christine. Just having some fun showing them to Adam and embarrassing Christine all at the same time on Mother's Day, until Adam pulls out a photo of Christine's first boyfriend.
Such a shame, he died when he was just 16.
It was leukemia, though Christine doesn't seem to remember it happening at all. But as her mom puts it, she's got a mind like a sieve, though she did do good at finding and keeping Adam around for the last 2 years. And since it's been that long, she asks when they plan to get married, and the entire tone quickly shifts to total awkwardness. And while they may disagree on when the right time would be, her mom does have a point when she says,
Father would like to walk you down the aisle while he still can.
Leaving all of them in complete silence. Until Adam asks if anybody wants a biscuit, and they all say yes. And the moment he is out of sight, Christine leans in to tell her mom to stop, but her mom fires back by saying that there is nothing wrong with getting married. It's a commitment, and it's clear that Christine is not yet sure if she's ready to take that step. She also isn't sure what Adam thinks about it, and it's as she's saying this that again we hear that strange distant chiming, but both it and her are cut off by Adam's return. With the box of his stuff in hand, because Fong has moved out and Christine now needs help keeping up with the rent, so now here's Adam, along with all of his stuff. Well, almost all of his stuff, as he now has to leave again, leaving Christine time to prepare for him a little Easter surprise. Putting on some music, she begins hiding eggs all through the house, from the living room down the hall to the bedroom, when out of nowhere a real one strikes the wall next to her.
Adam!
Slowly and quietly, she calls for Adam again, but there's no answer, only the sound of another egg being broken in the kitchen. Hesitantly stepping forward, she tries to turn on the light, but it only buzzes and begins to flicker, still giving her enough light to see all of the broken eggs scattered across the floor and the door of the pantry slowly being shut. Lights flashing, hands shaking, she reaches out and takes a hold of the doors, yanking them open to see no one inside. But there is someone behind her.
Sorry.
Jolting awake and sitting straight up in bed from that nightmare, Adam is there to help calm her down. And not only do we see Adam, but we can also see by the photo on their nightstand that they did finally get married, and that they are also now expecting. Thankfully for them, it is May and it is one of the bank holidays, so that means they get to spend some time together building a crib, which for anyone else that has ever had to build one knows that it is a complete nightmare, as they quickly find out with Christine reading the instructions to Adam and Adam trying to decipher what it all means, as he then makes a joke that her pregnancy hormones take in a very unintended way. And instead of laughing, she begins crying, admitting to him that she just hopes that the baby doesn't spoil the life that they currently have.
How would it do that?
Jack Clark was born on August 12th of the year before and is now around 10 months old, and try as he might to let Jack self-soothe, Adam gives in and makes his way to the little man, leaving Christine in bed with a moment to place a Father's Day card onto Adam's pillow, all while we can hear Adam gently singing to Jack over the baby monitor until all goes silent.
Come on, little man. Let's get you out of there.
Rushing for Jack's room, finding it empty, and believing that the worst has happened, she begins screaming for Adam, claiming that someone was here, someone has taken Jack. When Adam steps into the doorway, super confused because someone did take Jack. He did. He's got him right now, all calmed down and ready to go back to bed. Adam tells her that she needs to calm down or she might set off Jack again as he places him in his crib. He then says that she must just still be tired and needs to go back to bed, as he then makes his way back to it. Christine takes a few more seconds to look around, even reaching down to touch the side of Jack's face, before stepping back and turning the lights off.
Open your eyes! Surprise!
It's her 30th birthday and almost everyone is there because Jack is taking a nap, no one knows where Adam is, and her father has forgotten where he is. And because of this, her mom is unsure if she should have brought him at all because she knows that he wouldn't want to be remembered like this, but still, Christine is glad that he's there whether he remembers it or not. Her best friend and co-worker Bobby is also there with a brand new pair of shoes that she has been wanting, and it's the moment that he asks where Adam is that Adam walks through the door with his new co-worker named Zara.
She's just started under me. That's she.
Zara's just the worst, immediately handing out backhanded compliments to Chrissy, saying that she looks fab and she's sure that she's probably lost some weight, even taking it as far as to ask Chrissy to turn around for her. Her mom and some other people call her Chrissy, but those are the people that are close to her, not people like Zara who are trying to get close to Adam. And speaking of Adam, he doesn't even say anything about this. He just walks on by to get himself and Zara a drink. But what makes it really clear that something has changed between Christine and Adam is when he's getting this drink, Christine comes over to say, "Hey, my dad's here. How about you go and say hi?" He just completely blows her off to go and stand apart from everyone else with Zara.
Come on, Chrissy. It's that time.
Time for a game that they have played every year on her birthday since she was 6, Blind Man's Buff, where after being blindfolded and spun around, she has to try to catch someone, and whoever she catches gets to give her her main present, and it's just before her mom blindfolds her that she catches Adam and Zara slipping out of the living room. She doesn't have time to react though, as the blindfold is tied, she is spun, and everyone hides. Well, everyone except for her father, who she manages to catch right away, causing him to cry out in confusion, as she apologizes and continues her hunt until an odd sound from down the hall catches her attention, slowly creeping her way towards it all the way up to her bedroom door. A soft rhythmic creaking is coming from inside, steadily speeding up as she removes her blindfold and reaches for the door handle. It's just Adam struggling to close a suitcase so the three of them can go on a little summer holiday, something that he is upset about because this trip was meant to be for just the two of them to be able to get away for a little while. This change in plans, all this extra junk in the bag, and this miserable flat all has him wishing things could just go back to the way they used to be. Fun.
Yes, well, I'm very sorry that my dad died.
It's clear that life has been tough on everyone in the last year since Christine's 30th, which is what has Adam just wanting to get away from it all, while Christine just wants to spend more time with her loved ones. Regardless of how hard it's been or where each of them are in this argument, Christine sums it up perfectly when she says, "That's just life." Adam snaps back at this, telling her to just get the passports as he storms out of the room, leaving her alone and upset as she pulls the passports out of the drawer. And then we switch from the passport photo of a little Jack to a 4-year-old Jack being recorded on the morning of his first day of school. And he doesn't look too excited, even with his grandmother there to take him that morning. He still tells his mom that he wants her to take him to school, but sadly, she can't. She has work, though she will be there the moment he gets out. Christine turns as they leave to hide her tears, but once they are gone, it doesn't take very long before they're streaming down her face. While she sits on the floor in front of a box of old memories, her father enters the room and takes a seat behind her, doing his best to comfort her and reminding her that sometimes life just doesn't go the way you hope for, and that's okay. That's why she shouldn't blame herself now. But she doesn't know who else to blame. Adam's left her and now Jack has too. Though he reminds her quickly, Jack will only be gone until 3. It still doesn't change the way she feels. Being 32, divorced, and still working in the same shoe shop after all these years is not the Cinderella story she dreamed of. Her father speaks more wisdom and love into her, saying again to cheer up, because today is meant to be a happy memory.
I'm sorry, Dad, it just doesn't feel like that.
A fully witchified Christine answers the buzzing phone where a late Adam has finally arrived to pick up Jack. So she unlocks the door and then makes her way back to the bathroom to see if Bobby is ready yet. And it doesn't take but one question as to what he is supposed to be that the zombie waiter looking meant to be vampire starts getting changed into a werewolf. Bobby then asks if the new guy that Christine has been talking to is going to be there at the party, and it's as she's explaining her new complicated non-relationship thing that the front door closes.
Jack's in his bedroom. Got some explaining to do.
Without a word though, Jack's door closes and Christine turns to see that Bobby now looks like Tony the Tiger. So she tries to help him by changing his whiskers into cobwebs, and it's here that she brings up her former flatmate that she had when she first moved in 10 years ago, even taking a second to remember her name, Fong. Christine brings up the past to see if Bobby remembers what they had said to each other back then, that if neither of them had someone in 10 years, that they would get married to each other, because so far, life just hasn't gone the way she thought it would. They share the moment for as long as they can, until they're interrupted by knocking at the door. Bobby fixes her witch's nose so she can scare some trick-or-treaters, only when she opens the door, it's Adam. The elevator is broken. He had to take the stairs to even get up there, but she doesn't hear another word that he says as she yells for Jack and runs for his room.
I've got him.
Christine has Jack running into the apartment after an accident with a sparkler on bonfire night. Already on the phone with her mom to get some extra help, she runs some cold water for Jack's hand as she steps out of the bathroom to call Adam. Fireworks flash behind her while she explains to Adam what happened, as her mother then enters the apartment and heads to Jack's side, and Adam not only tells her that he will be there in 5 minutes, but also that he loves her. She is far too stunned to even respond, instead just hanging up the moment that her mother is escorting Jack into the living room, and he's completely fine. Not even a mark on his hand. Jack is sent to his room to watch the fireworks from his window as Christine struggles to understand what is happening. She knows that he was crying and her mom agrees because she probably scared him. She's pretty sure that she saw him pick up a sparkler and burn his hand, but her mom tells her he couldn't have. There's nothing wrong with him. Though she did when she was about his age. A sparkler had burned right through her mitten and had burned her still scarred hand.
I'm getting everything jumbled up.
Still staring at her hand, her mom then places a Christmas hat onto Christine's head so she can then match everyone else sitting around the table. Her mother, her father, her best friend Bobby, her old flatmate Fong, and even Adam, who greets her with a kiss and calls her gorgeous before sitting down. More confused than ever, Christine questions her father, who says that he feels great and wouldn't have missed this for anything. She then asks where Jack is, and he's currently getting into his costume, and then wonders aloud if her and Adam have gotten back together, and it turns out that he meant what he said last year over the phone. Before she can ask anything else, Fong speaks up, believing now is the best time for the present.
No, I don't want the present.
But her father states that it's from all of them, a very special gift given to her by all those that have and do love her. It's a very nice photo album full of pictures of her with them, laughing and reflecting on all the amazing memories that they had together, from building a crib to Tony the Tiger. She calls it amazing, and then says that it's like her life is flashing before her eyes.
I think I know what this is now.
Her head is against the steering wheel, the music still playing on the radio, and the eggs just as broken as the window where a man with glasses and a raincoat leans down to look at her. The flashing lights of the emergency vehicles illuminate everything in red and blue as the sound of a saw cutting into her passenger door fills the air. Once it's pulled away, a firefighter tries to talk to her, but it's as though he's speaking from a great distance and his voice a hollow echo. Christine is pulled from the car as we see a few instances of where her reality bled through into her memories that she just re-experienced. Being laid upon a stretcher, she can now see the blue lights of the police car and how similar they are to the Christmas tree just behind her at the dinner table. Each one of them stare knowingly at her as Adam then calls for Jack to come out and say goodbye.
I don't want to.
Reality sets in again as we see Jack sitting in the back of an ambulance as the man in the raincoat steps forward. He states that it was his fault, that he wasn't paying attention and just walked in front of her car. She swerved and crashed. He did what he could, and though he wasn't able to get her out, he was able to save the kid. To save little Jack, who was still hugging her neck. until Adam calls him back to the other side of the table, where they all stare at Christine, knowing that now is the time, as the same music that was playing in the car begins again, as Christine gathers her thoughts for one final time to be able to tell the one she loves goodbye. With a smile on her face, she says her final words.
I love you.
When it comes to a story and a twist that are done this good, it's hard to even put it into words. The story is amazing, the acting is incredible, and it even has the creators of the show in the episode, one being Bobby and the other being the man in the raincoat, and the predictability. There are so many little things that I didn't pick up on until the third or fourth watch, and things pointed out in the reveal at the end that I didn't notice.
No, I don't want the present.
It's by far one of the best reveals that I've ever seen, and it's been amazing to go back and watch it over and over again for this video, and that's the reason that the satisfaction of this is so high, because it's one of the highest rated anything that I've ever covered on the channel, and clearly even the PolterGibbst, which is the most important because it's my opinion, it's perfect.
I think I know what this is now.
I'm at a complete loss for words to tell you just how amazing this entire story and twist is, but I can tell you that everything about it is perfect, meaning that this is the second perfect twist that we have found on our search for the greatest twist in all of horror. And maybe we will find another perfect twist in the next episode of this series, as we slowly lose our minds on a boat trapped in a time loop in 2009's Triangle. Which, if you watched the last video, you know that it will also go perfectly with Time Crimes. And don't worry, because I do plan on completing the whole trifecta and covering Primer in the future. Unless you're watching this far enough in the future that I've already covered it in the past, all of it just making these time travel movies so much fun. And keep a lookout for stuff coming up on the second channel, because I've got some big projects that I'm currently working on now, so I'm probably going to post some smaller stuff over there for a little bit so I can finish up some of these other videos. And once again, all of the new merch is linked right down below me, and I do also want to shout out Logan Likes to Draw on Instagram for this incredible fan art that he sent me. And not only is this amazing, but this is the first bit of fan art that I've ever received, and it's just so cool. It's so cool. So thanks again to Logan, and thanks to everybody that went over there to give him a follow, and of course thanks to everyone that went to check out the new merch. It really does mean a lot. But with all of that, I have to thank the channel members for helping to make all of this possible, with some of the newer members being Something Quippy, Kate, Jeannie, Christy Crownover, and Jesse Shattuck. Seriously, thank you all for helping me to make all of this possible, and thank you for making it to this point in the video. And if you are here, do me a favor and hit all of the buttons that are down below me. And with all of that, I just really hope that you're having an extra blessed day today, and if not, you can try taking my hand so I can see you in the next one.